You're welcome with the best DJ Rated R.
DJ Phize, pick up your phone, I'm on the request line.
Make a clap to this. Make a clap to this.
Rated R.
Make a clap to this. Make a clap to this.
DJ Rated R. DJ Rated R. This is when the music stops. Right here on Rated R Radio. He made me say it twice. This is when the music stops. Stops.
Old folks talking about back in my day. But homie, this is my day. Class started 2 hours ago. Oh, am I late?
Yo, welcome to When the Music Stops. I'm your host, DJ Rated R. In here with my guy, Ken Phize.
Yo, back up in here.
Giving it to him straight.
No chaser.
Already. And before we get this night started off with our segment, Old School versus New School, I want to send a happy birthday to my godson, Lamarion. Happy 13th birthday. I remember when I was 13, Penny Hardaway was popping at the time. Bone Thugs and Harmony was hot. And Kobe Bryant was just entering the NBA. And I think about it 20 years later, man. We celebrating a banged up Kobe going into retirement. We watching a documentary, a 30-30 on Penny Hardaway, on how great he used to be.
Time be flying.
And now we listening to these young rappers talking about they invented double time and rapping fast. When we had Bone and Fushnickens and all them other groups in the past. But we ain't going to hit on that. We're going to save all that for later. But again, welcome to When the Music Stops. And today we are discussing the old school versus the new school. And we'll put this on my heart to discuss this afternoon was I'm just noticing a resistance towards the acceptance of this new generation breaking barriers. They setting records and they steady raising the bar.
Speak on it.
And I just slowly see like it's like a silent war, I say, just on the attitudes between the two generations. And a couple of examples that I could give. I don't know. One is in sports. You know, I could go with music, but sports is a big one right now. And I think like with the sports world, think about it, bro. You got the Warriors, man. The Golden State Warriors. They are going to make history. They moving on to make history to beat this record of 72 wins and 10 losses with the Bulls. And I mean, being 33 at the time, I was around when the Bulls was doing it. I couldn't believe they was winning that many games. I think they shocked the world when they first did it, and I think it was great. However, I do think time moves on, and there are other great players who come throughout the NBA. Michael Jordan is not the first and the last, and the Bulls is not the only team that's going to be great winners like that. And so I think just lately I've been seeing a lot of news, that kind of downplays the Warriors' success.
A lot of news, or was a lot of hate?
A lot of hate. I mean, really more so hate. It's just been a lot of, the Warriors ain't this good. They ain't that. They wouldn't be able to beat the 96 Bulls. They get swept. And I don't know. It's just, you would think that the older generation will want these youngsters to go on and make history. You know what I'm saying? Like, being a father, I want my son to have a Michael Jordan of his era. That's why I'm like, man, let's celebrate LeBron for why my man here and stop comparing him to Michael Jordan.
Right.
Let him blaze his own trail. Back in the day, we had Mike. They weren't steady comparing Mike to Dr. J. Or Magic. They let him do his own thing.
They let him rock. They embraced Mike, and so they wasn't steady pulling the greats before him into the conversation.
Exactly. They wasn't steady pulling that into the convo. So my thing is, man, let these young dudes rock. So tonight, I'm sorry, I'm on the new school team. I can say I'm mid school. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I ain't old school yet. I ain't all the way new school, but I understand the new school because I come from the old school and I know how it is to be hated on as a youngin'. And just one more spot I want to take it, man. I mean, you can also take it to the music. You know what I'm saying? A lot of older people call the new age music, this new millennium music, whack. Just off top, this whack music. Or you'll hear a lot of people saying this Chief Keef music, whatever. My man, they making money. These young dudes are successful. and they are reaching the ear of a young generation who feel what they going through. So I think like just getting older, man, I had to sit back and was like, man, you know, when I was younger, you know, I rock with Bone and all them. And I'm pretty sure a lot of my daddy friends was looking like, man, what is
this foolishness you listening to?
Man. So, you know, I'm like, I know how it feels to be hated on as a youngin'. So I just feel that as a mid-schooler, you know, I just kind of want to embrace the youngins and just kind of encourage them. You know, keep doing your thing if you're doing the music. You know, it's two sides to every story. So, Phize, I'm going to throw the mic over to you, man, and let you hit on some of that stuff.
Yeah, man, I feel you because, you know, definitely it's a lot of hate, you know what I'm saying? Now, I could understand if you were a part of that Bulls team, you like, I don't want nobody to break this record ever. But for, you know, random people out of the woodworks, you ain't never touched the hardwood, you know, in an NBA career, less known a college career, anything, you like, no. I don't want Golden State to win. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't play for the Bulls. It was a great time to watch that occur. It was a great time to watch this Warriors team, you know what I'm saying, take it to 73 and 9, you know what I'm saying? And who knows, 10, 20 years down the line, it might be another team take it to 74, 75. I mean,
man, I'm looking forward to 82-0.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Perfect record. So
it's just the evolution, you know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. Now, whether you going to see it happen, you know, it's two different things. But I think you hit on something. You said, like, as a father, you know what I'm saying, you want to see your son have his, you know, Michael Jordan, like how you had it on Michael Jordan's era. So you want him to have kind of the things you had and then take it to the next level.
Exactly.
So the one thing it made me think about that evolution is like, it's kind of like the two generations, like, you know, the previous generation and the next generation is like almost like father son in a way, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, you know, you want your son to have everything you had. You want him to take it to the next level. And then as a father, I imagine you proud at that point. But if you're a father and your son is doing everything totally opposite of you, it's up to you to either say, let me try to understand this. Like, you know, what is this next generation doing? Like, what they own? You know what I'm saying? Or you can just straight up hate on it and be like, I don't get it. Or you could sit mid-school, like you said. You could be a hybrid, like, okay, this is a new time. They're doing things differently. Nothing I can do. We did it differently in my time frame. This new age, you know, things come about that we didn't have. It make you think about things differently. You know what I'm saying? Like currently, like, you know, it's a big thing. Well, it's probably been a big thing for a while, you know, fashion wise, with those skinny jeans. Now, I don't get with those skinny jeans at all, like, for the life of me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not really of the size to be rocking skinny jeans. Right. But if I was, I ain't rocking those skinny jeans. But, you know, even just thinking about this topic tonight, I was like, you know what? Skinny jeans, that ain't the first time that's been around. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
If you look back at some of your favorite movies, like from before your time, might have been your dad's time. You know what I'm saying? You might have been
70s films,
a little thought in a little seed in his eye. You know what I'm saying? That one of them 70s films, boys was in there wearing them slim jeans. They were wearing them little high shorts and everything. Nobody was hating on them. It was just a thing to do.
Yep.
That's how people wore their clothes in that particular time frame. Then things evolved. I think, you know what I'm saying, hip hop and, you know, other things may have influenced people. You might have got into that, you know what I'm saying, that whole leathery look, you know, Kumo D swag, you know what I'm saying? Our time frame, it went to the baggy clothes. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? I know my father was looking at me like, what are you doing with these baggy clothes on? You know what I'm saying? Watching them 30s, I think Fab Five brought that about in the college time. It's like, look, man, I don't like that thigh meat out. I'm trying to have me some shorts down to my knee. You know what I'm saying? And that's when that, you know, that's that era that we came about. So it's like, you know, things gonna evolve. I can't say I don't get everything that's going on now, but man, I can't hate on you. I mean, if things were different, you know, internet and things like that, I might have chose a different path. Not that skinny jeans, but you know, I might have chose a different path as well. You know, I might have been, you know, went down that entrepreneurial spirit. I may have wanted to be a producer or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? You just, you know, you can't knock the hustle. You know, times is changing.
Just gotta understand the hustle. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back right here when the music stops.
Back to back like I'm Jordan 96, 97. I been Steph Curry with the shot. Big back to back like I'm Jordan 96, 97. I been Steph Curry with the shot. Big back to back like I'm Jordan 96, 97. I been Steph Curry with the shot. Been back to back like I'm Jordan 96, 97. I been Steph Curry with the shot. Been.
Yes, on the line, we got my man, my cuz, my family from GI 219. Stand up. AJ.
What's going on?
What's going on, my man? And Mr. AJ, he's an officer of the law, back there in Gary, Indiana. And I'm glad that he called in because I kind of wanted to get his take, on old school versus new school, man. How was it coming up when he was coming up to how he's seeing it day by day out there in the streets of Gary coming up? So speak your piece, my man.
All right. Well, number one, thanks for having me.
Oh yeah.
Big fan of the show.
Right on.
Like what y'all
Appreciate
doing. Really appreciate it. And I was very interested in your topic, the old school, new school. Like I said, growing up back in the day, man, just the law enforcement community had more respect.
Mm-hmm.
They garnered more respect from the public. Like the kids nowadays, man, the biggest thing I see, the difference is, like back in the day, when the police told you to do something or something like anything,
Mm-hmm.
you respected the police.
Oh yeah.
You say yes sir, no sir. Nowadays, man, these kids have a sense of entitlement.
Mm.
They think you owe them something, or they think they're entitled to do what they want to do, and they deem it as not all of them, but some of them they deem it as disrespectful when anybody tells them what they should be doing or what to do. I mean, you got to think about it, man. Some of these kids don't respect their parents, so they ain't gonna respect the law.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So that's the biggest thing I see is the sense of entitlement from kids in general nowadays, from the youngsters nowadays. Back in the day, we had things we had to do.
Mm-hmm.
We had to do stuff around the house. We had to do stuff in our community.
Responsibilities.
And nowadays, kids think they owed something.
Yeah. You rarely see the little boy out mowing the lawn, going door to door, shoveling the snow. Nowadays, they got mama out there doing it. They got daddy out there, shoveling.
So when you see it, it's a surprise. When
Yeah.
somebody come knock on my door and say, "Can I shovel the snow?" I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I wish somebody would.
Like, man, you see it nowadays, it's a surprise.
And I got another question. With this being a music show, I listen and I study a lot of music, and a lot of music is a cop bashing music, police bashing music. I don't F the police, this, that. I don't see a lot of respect shown through our music, and a lot of this music that's being played is pumped out through our youth, and it shadows a huge disrespect for the community, the police community. So, what's your take on that?
Well, my take on it is, I put it to you like this: some of the stuff that's been going on with these police officers, I always tell people like this: the bad ones don't make it easy for the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that go out here and do certain things, take people's lives that necessarily didn't need to be taken,
Mm-hmm.
that do criminal activities, they don't make it easy for the good ones.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, 99% of police officers, in my opinion, are good. It's just the 1% that make it look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And with this music, what the music does, some of this cop bashing music and some of this negative music in general, it's like a fuel for these kids. It psychs them up. Nowadays these kids don't want to take a butt whooping.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They'd rather just handle it the easy way, pull the trigger, and now they got some street cred.
Mm.
So but that music gives them fuel. Now that's not saying that. I mean, like I said, it's free speech all the way around.
Right.
So you should be able to you should be able to make your music and say what you want to say. Some people's like in the movie Straight Outta Compton, when he made the song "F the Police." Well, that was a reflection of what he had been through.
Mm-hmm.
So some people pour out, use that as a message. Like, if you listen to the lyrics of that, it made sense because that's the stuff Ice Cube had went through.
Right.
On the other hand, some of these kids nowadays making this music, they ain't never been through nothing like that.
Never been through nothing.
But they do it because they know that the younger generation gonna eat it up.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, sometimes, in certain situations, they use it as fuel. They use it as fuel to hype them up or to psych them up and to go through with whatever kind of act they're gonna go through with.
Hey, that is truly spoken from words truly spoken from the words of a honest cop, y'all. So that's real talk, man. Anything else you want to touch on before we wrap this up for the night, my man?
No, you know what, man? Like I said, I just appreciate you having me, man. And as far as old school versus new school, you know, I'm a big sports dude. Everybody talk about Golden State.
Oh yeah,
Golden
I wanted your take on that.
They couldn't do nothing with the Bulls, the '96 Bulls, nothing.
You said they couldn't do nothing. Now, my man AJ is a huge Bulls fan. I'm glad you touched on that because earlier in the show, I was saying how, like, you know, it's kind of, I've been hearing a lot of talk about, you know, the Golden State Warriors not being as tough as the '96 Bulls, the fact that the Bulls would sweep them. And, you know, someone asked the question, why is that argument even about? You know, why aren't we being more congratulatory of the Warriors? You know, why don't we want them to beat that record? You know, is this something in you that didn't want them to beat that record? Or? I'm
gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why. Because in today's society, think about it. LeBron James is more scrutinized and compared to Michael Jordan than anybody. Right. And I'm like, well, man, this man is, you know, this man is top 5 ever in scoring points per game. He got 2 MVP. He got 4 regular season MVP. You know, he should be being celebrated. But yet, anytime it has anything to do with a record or any kind of greatness, it's always going to be comparisons. Like when the Bulls went through what they went through, they were being compared to I think the Celtics and the Sixers who both won 69 games. Okay. And a lot of people don't remember that, but they were being compared to those teams. Like, how would they do? You know, so like the new school and the new school NBA is different now. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think the Bulls will win, because defense was much harder back then. And then back then you had a lot of dominant big men. Like now you don't have no dominant big men. So that allows Golden State to play the way they play. You know, I'm not taking nothing away from them because, you know, Steph Curry is, you know, he the greatest shooter ever. You know, but there's no way he'd be, you know, Scottie Pippen on him. No. He just couldn't.
It would be a tough,
couldn't do it. But
matchup.
That's the way society is today with everything, though. It's always being compared and contrast with things in the past. Well, for one reason, some people don't want to let go of stuff in the past.
Yeah. Don't want to let it go.
You know, but the new school NBA is more like the international game. A lot of big men stepping outside, shooting threes, stuff like that. It's not like back in the day, like in the 90s when we was growing up, when every team had a good big man. You had Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Hakeem, Shaq, you know, Rick Smith. I mean, you had Bill Cartwright. You know, they were good big men. Yeah. Like, it's probably like 2 or 3 good big men now in the league.
The evolution of the league.
Definitely no dominant ones. You know, Dwight Howard, I don't know what happened to him, but
in the same sentence as dominant?
It's a small man league now.
I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Dwight Howard was dominant when he played for Orlando. I mean, when he took him to the finals, he was doing his thing, but I just don't know what happened to him. That's what I'm saying. Like, he just fell off all the way off.
Off. Hey, old school versus new school. This is a new game. This is a small man's game in the NBA. and the smallest men, Steph Curry and dang on Klay Thompson, is killing it. It's killing it. It's crazy right now. But yeah, you know, I was just posing that question earlier. As far as you know, are we happy that they broke the record? Now, do we want somebody to come through and do 82-0? You know, and beat Steph Curry? You know, sure.
Now, I'm a Bulls fan, man, so I was rooting against them to break the record. I don't want nobody to break my Bulls record, but they're a great team. I mean, I can't take it away from them. Yeah. But no, I was rooting against them. Okay. I was rooting for San Antonio and Memphis them last 2 games.
The last couple games.
Spoken from a true Bulls fan. Well, that's what's up, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in tonight and giving that honest take, man. I always wanted to ask that question to a fellow officer of the law out there. So thanks for chiming in on that, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it, man. Y'all take it easy. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
For sure. We're going to take another quick commercial break, and we'll be right back right here when the music stops.
This ain't rap, this is crazy the way we act when we confuse hip-hop with real life when the music stops.
Yes, welcome back to When the Music Stops. And today we're talking about old school versus new school and the resistance to change. And earlier on Facebook, I was just throwing out some questions to the people. And, one of my questions were, I sometimes wonder, do the old school or do the older generation really want to see the younger generation succeed? And I'm going to throw out a couple examples on that. You know, back in the day, they used to say, hey, it takes a village to raise a child. You know, you often had your neighbors, getting behind these kids and things like that. Nowadays, neighbors may see something going on or may see a family down the street struggling, or may know something, and instead of maybe lending a helping hand or helping out, they'll call CPS on them.
No. They ain't on that. See something, say something. They like, nah, I ain't see nothing over there because Johnny a wild boy.
Oh yeah, or they not even gonna say nothing because out of fear, which is a flip side. Is this older generation, afraid of the younger, which is why a lot of times they don't say nothing and may stay out of. So
that's true. You know what I'm saying? It might just be backing up like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no smoke with little man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Or the little girl, you know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted, you know what I'm saying? It all can get wild. So, I think, you know what I'm saying, like in those older time frames, you know what I'm saying, parenting, it was like you had a whole block that be on your head. They caught you doing something, you know what I'm saying? You might got a whooping from a neighbor before you got home and got that whooping from your moms, you know what I'm saying, to get you back in line. But I'm going to tell you right now, somebody walking past my house acting up, I'm like, you know what? Let's take it back even another step. You probably don't even really know your neighbors like that, like you do back in the, you know what I'm saying? Back when so you knew who was next door to your left, your right, probably a couple people across the street. Mm-hmm. Current day, like, I don't know the people. I say hey out of courtesy, but that's it. So how they gonna, you know what I'm saying, help parent your child?
Hey, old school versus new school. Back in the day, the communities was close knit. Everybody was together. Nowadays, it is separate.
Somebody come bring you a pie when you move into the neighborhood.
Yep.
You ain't getting nothing now. They barely want to tell you when the trash day is. You gotta keep a lookout for the trash truck yourself.
Already. Man, and then, hey, you got competition between old school and the new school. Hey, like I brought up earlier, the competition between the Bulls and the Warriors, and certain Bull players coming out and, saying their piece that they didn't want them. I understand. Like you said, they was part of the team. They don't want their record to be broken.
Part of the team. I'm gonna say you want to be in the books.
Yeah, you want to be in the book. And then, I think a lot of thing is, I'm not gonna say the older generation is jealous of the new generation, but I do think they feel like the newer generation has it a lot easier with certain things, and they feel like maybe we had to grind, quote unquote, grind hard, but it's about perception, because in their eyes they had to grind hard, but you don't know what these new kids got to go through. Nobody really knows what no one has to go through. But so to say, they had it easier, and or
yeah, I mean, I get you on that, because you probably would feel like you had it easier. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, that one, rapper that's now your favorite rapper probably had to, go hand out some tapes, stand out in some code, you know what I'm saying, pass out some flyers and pass out some CDs, hope somebody bought a CD. Mm-hmm. Now you jump online, like, there you go, check that out.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Instant.
Instant right there for you. So you probably is looking at them like, man, you ain't have to grind like I had to grind. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Which is why you always get the stories. Back in my day, we had to walk 20 miles to school, and and it's like I don't think they saying that out of jealousy. I think they are saying it out of like you ain't have to grind like I gotta grind. But however, you still can't be mad at the new school, at the youngins, because they ain't have to grind like that. It's all about evolution. They invented cars now, partner, and these
that school bus come swinging through.
Yeah, we got school buses now. So, and again, I'm not bashing old school by no means. It's just that coming as born in 83, coming up, I just heard it a lot. Y'all young is this, y'all that, y'all music ain't this, y'all that. And now, as being the older dude, I almost found myself saying that to the younger generation. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be like that.
That's not what I'm going to do.
That's not what I want to do. I don't want to be that old bitter old dude like that's still living in a certain time capsule and, spitting on everything that comes behind me, because it's not like what it was when I was coming up. So, I'm just all about just embracing and welcoming the younger generation on in, and just showing them how to do things. So.
Yeah, really, man. Roll with it or get rolled over.
Or rolled over.
I don't know if it's competition or if it's, you clearly want to say, you know what, I had it differently than you. But I mean, at the same point in time, it's like, you know what, if you were born in the 80s, but, and you had it X type of way, but if you would have been born 10 years later, your life probably would have changed differently. That might breed some jealousy. Like, you know what?
Hey.
I was trying to build my business for 12 years. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Internet came along, mm-hmm. and then it took off. You was born during the internet. You know what I'm saying? And yours took off, and you was barely out of high school. You know what I'm saying? So you might feel some type of way, but you know,
I can
it's
relate.
competition, you know.
Back in the day when we was doing our rap thing and whatnot, when we was rapping and all, you know, we was I was part of the definitely, you know, handing out CDs and passing out and things like that. Here, Soulja Boy come along, do a dance and just throw it out on the internet. You and had the whole world going. And I'm like, man, I done put in all this work rapping and trying to write these bars and up late and doing this, and here he is, and I was jealous. So I understand that jealousy. However, you got to just keep moving and doing your thing, and then just understand, like, man, they just found their way to do it. You know, they've been blessed. So you find your way to do it, and so you'll be blessed. And again,
different tools were in place.
Yeah, different. You're right, man. Different tools were in place, so you cannot be mad at the new generation for different tools being in place. You just got to be supportive of it, and just be like, hey, you know, I want you to do your best and do better than how I did it.
Right.
And
you better learn how to use some of them tools.
Hey,
don't let them tools come across and you could have got on too, and then you like, nah, I ain't adapting to what. I'm not using the World Wide Web.
Yeah,
I don't want no parts of it.
But with that being said, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back right here on When the Music Stops.
Are you getting married soon and looking for a quality DJ? Or maybe you're hosting your family reunion this year, and you need a DJ that knows how to go back and forth between the old school and the new school. Well, look no further. I'm your man, DJ Rated R. For all bookings, inquiries, or questions, please email me at ratedrradio219@gmail.com. Again, that's ratedrradio219@gmail.com. Let Rated R Radio come through and host live at your event. Guaranteed to turn it up and have the people talking for days and days.
Yes. Welcome back to Rated R Radio. DJ Rated R Ken Phize in the house.
Yo.
And we got a caller on the line. Who am I speaking with?
It's Aisha, the comedian lady.
Yo, what's up, Miss Aisha, the comedian lady? One of the funniest comedians I've heard around town. So what's going on with you tonight?
What's up with you?
I'm having a therapy session, but I had seen that you was on the show, doing your radio show, so I said I'd call in
okay.
before I took my medicine.
Yeah, let me get you before you take the medicine. Why are you in your right mind? What you think about old school versus new school, whether it be sports, music, the way we are, you know what I'm saying, old versus new? What's your take?
Well, I think, like, the ladies, they too bossy. Like Beyonce, she always trying to tell somebody how to do it. She want people to surfboard in the tub, and that ain't how necessarily that works for her and Jay-Z, but that ain't how everybody get down, you know?
I hear that.
So you can't listen to these songs and what they talking about. And then they be telling you to grab the wall and make your booty wiggle till your ass fall off. Now, why would you want to do that?
They be doing too
Why
much.
you want your booty to fall off? Why?
They said this new generation be asking for too much.
Them commands.
Hey man, you
and
got
see, like James Brown, he had a song. All he said through the whole song was please.
Please.
Through the whole song for about 5-6 minutes, he just saying please, please, please. That's all he wanted. He just wanted a little special favor.
That's all.
Now they talking about they're gonna put you back to sleep.
Oh, man.
That's disrespectful.
Oh,
don't talk
man.
to me like that. I don't want to do it if you say that.
You said don't say that to it. Just be about the action.
Just kill them. They killing them all with their words.
I'm old school. You got to be nice. You have to ask nicely for it. You can't say you gonna hit it with a left and hit it with a right. I'm not interested in that.
Hey, too physical.
That might hurt. That sounds painful.
All right, so y'all hear that, fellas? Old school said new school being a little bit too aggressive on it. Y'all got to ease up a little bit.
Say please.
Please and thank you.
Yeah.
And I want.
Yeah, I mean, like that one man, Lenny Williams. He begged for love for his girl. He told her he loved her how many times during this song?
Hey man,
he got the stuttering and everything.
That's what's up. Where you calling from tonight, Miss Aisha?
Calling from the crib.
The crib.
The far east side where they shoot up everything. You know how they doing.
East side nap
They was
time.
shooting at the park today. You can't even take your baby to the park and they shooting.
Hey, that's how these new schoolers doing it nowadays, man. They bringing out the fireworks early.
4th of July.
Yep, so I'm trying to get my Kevin Hart dollars so I can go and get my mansion built and be safe. So
Hey, that's what's up.
I'm gonna keep on writing my jokes and see what I can get shaken so I won't get shot.
And Miss Aisha, the comedian, where can they catch you at?
The day party, man, we got the Kush Cafe on the day party Saturday.
Oh.
My friend, she has her name is Nicole Kearney, and she's doing a web series on YouTube, and it's called Kush Cafe. So the cast gonna come on. We gonna talk about it.
Okay.
I'm going to Anna's Wings Diva Fest on Sunday. So just stay tuned. We'll be everywhere.
Hey. She everywhere, y'all. Aisha the Comedienne. Y'all check her out. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that. Aisha the Comedienne. Thanks for calling in tonight.
Appreciate you calling in.
No problem. Keep up the good work.
I sure will. You have a good one.
Thanks.
Yep. So that's how we doing it, y'all. We got word from Aisha the Comedienne that y'all doing it a little bit too rough on them. So we'll be right back right here on Rated R Radio.
This is when the music stops on Rated R Radio.
Welcome back to When the Music Stops. It's your boy DJ Rated R Ken Phize.
Yo, back at it.
And we've been sitting up here chatting about old school versus new school. And this part, I'm gonna take the side of the old school because I somewhat understand this, but I also got a question to pose at the end of my stance. You know, coming from the 90s, and I say the 90s because I was born in 83, but my remembrance and my experiences really all came in the 90s, and so that was a very nostalgic time for me. So a lot of music that came out at that time, I could relate to it. I was with it. I was like, man, this is new to me. This is something new. This is great. I'm holding this near and dear to my heart. When I watched basketball, watching the Bulls and Michael Jordan being in the Chicagoland area, we got the treat of seeing all his games all the time. So I held Michael Jordan near and dear to my heart. And so I do pose the question. Oh, one last thing was Michael Jackson, you know, coming from the Gary, Indiana area, and him being a native of Gary, Indiana, you know, we held Michael Jackson near and dear, and so did a lot of other people because he is one of the greatest entertainers that we have ever seen. But I pose the question to you, Mr. Phize. Will there ever be an entertainer to surpass Michael Jordan? Will there ever be a Michael Jackson? Will there ever be an entertainer or athlete to surpass Michael Jordan? Or will there ever be another rapper to surpass Tupac or Biggie in this lifetime?
For some, but you know, it's almost like you said, you know, when that's what you grew up during, you know what I'm saying? That's when you were forming your stances on things, you know, your opinions, you know, you're having those life lessons, you know. These are the people that were hot, and these are the people that, you know, you remember, you know, you connected to those, whether it's music or those basketball games, you know what I'm saying? Those are things you connected to, so they always hold a spot with you, you know? It's almost like, so when that younger generation comes up and, you know, they never saw, you know, a Mike live in concert or on TV, or they didn't see his story, you know, growing up in the house and like 30 of them living in one bedroom, you know what I'm saying, on 2100 Jackson Street, you know what I'm saying, and they don't really have no connection to that, or Mike, you know what I'm saying, going back to back, three-peat 2 times in a row. You didn't see that. You don't have that actual connection. No. So you all, of course, you like, no, Steph is the greatest. You know what I'm saying? He's the best of all time. But for me to see that, to witness that, and it's like, no. Nothing's ever really going to take the place of that. You know, some of these things. And I can go with anything, you know, whether it's your favorite actor or actress, you know, sports, you know, icons, whatever, you know what I'm saying? If they were, you know, your go-to person, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're out on the court, you're like, oh, Jordan, you shoot that shot, you know what I'm saying? That's, you know, you hold that. It's like, now I don't care who come across, I don't care what they do. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Steph is great. Damn. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm grown now, you know what I'm saying? Those coming of age stories happened during the Michael Jordan era, you know? So that's what I'm holding on to. That's what my attachments are to. And like you say, like, you know, with Pac and Biggie, you know what I'm saying, during that time frame, I'm pretty sure that's a lot of people's top 5, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's like I'm not even opening the door for those 2 slots to be interchanged upon, you know? It's like, no, these are already set aside, you know? If they were still living and rapping, you know, give you some chance to screw up and then you can take them out, but now that ain't really the case.
So is it fair to these new age rappers? I mean, I don't want to say fair, but I mean, but is it cool? Or I say fair to these new age rappers. Like I think, man, a lot of cats like Lil Wayne and like T.I., who's been in the game for 10, 15 years, man. Now, doing a thing. Wayne put in large amounts of work. These guys put in really a lot of work. But they'll never be on that same, I guess, what you want to call Mount Rushmore as a Biggie or Pac. Like I said, is that in some minds, like you said, it's for some people, not Pac, but Wayne is on that Mount Rushmore, or is it?
Yeah, I think it's for some. So it's kind of like when you came about. So like if you were, if you were kind of older when Tupac and Biggie was going on, and you saw some of the newer age get ushered in after their death or untimely demise, then you may have wiggle room. Like I would say I got them in my top 5, right? Those 3. But if you were older and it was like Pac and Biggie was on the tail end of your top 5, you rocking with like some Eric B, Rakim,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of the previous groups, and you like no. The youngest little piece of generation that's coming in my top 5 is Pac and Biggie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like timing on that thing too. You know what I'm saying? So it's timing. When you at what point in time were you hearing that music? You know what I'm saying? Did it provide some type of feeling for you?
Your age and all that. Yeah. I don't want to keep sharing so many of my stories, but I feel the same way with Pac. I was coming of age hearing all them cats. So it's kind of like I listen to this music nowadays and I'm like, man, I didn't heard it all before. You know what I'm saying? I heard it all before. However, I dig and I like the cleverness of today's music. I think a lot of songs in this day and age is clever, and for me, I had to cleanse and purge myself of wanting music to be like it was in the 90s. I'm like, man, I gotta get out of wanting that old, because the thing here is I feel like when you live like that, you don't get a chance to enjoy the now. Because I remember back in like the early 2000s, they were saying it then. This music whack, this music bubblegum, and this was like in 2001, 2, 3, and 4. Right. And these was our college years, so they were saying it was whack, but like I'm like, man, Lil Jon is keeping it hot right now. Dipset was the truth at the time, and so I'm like, man, let me appreciate these dudes while they're around, because now 10 years later we sitting around like, man, what happened to Dipset? And a part of me is kind of like, man, I do miss them, but I remember when they was out, we was all running around yelling Purple City Bird Gang and enjoying that music they were making for that time. So that living is in my moment, what I'm saying? Living in the moment. That's my thing, man. Old school versus new school. Instead of talking about, oh man, how it used to be and I wish it was back. No, man, just live in the moment. Like pretty soon we're gonna be saying whatever happened to Chief Keef and all them. We're gonna be saying what happened to Fetty Wap. Man, where's Fetty Wap at? I mean, because he did have a nice run. All those, to some people, some of his songs is irritating. He making a nice run. Some of his music is melodic and people rock with it.
You find a way through that thing. You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I like the music, so But then again, what are you looking at the music for? You trying to learn something,
right?
Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is your motivation about listening to the music? I'm just checking it out. If it sounds good, whether it's melodic, rap, whatever the case is, Of course, you got those things that you're like, hey, I can't stand that, but they may break through. That one, whoever that person is, that you like, I can't stand nothing they make. They might hit you with one joint. And you're like, okay, all right. I kind of like that one.
Right.
It's just like you say, living in the moment. You know what I'm saying? You can't live in the past on that thing. Kind of like going back to the other topic. When you're taking pictures and everything, but you ain't living in the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta enjoy the now.
You gotta enjoy the now. And again, evolution, man. The resistance to change. Right here on Rated R Radio. Today's show is brought to you by Dirt Detective Auto Reconditioning. Don't leave your car neglected. You need a paint job? Or how about an outside and inside detail? Or maybe some body work? Well, come on in and get detected. For more information, visit the website at www.getdetected.com or check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirty Vision Entertainment. For free estimates, call 317-512-6449 and schedule your appointment today. Yeah, welcome back to Rated R Radio. Rated R Old School versus New School. Resistance to change. You know, people don't like to change. You know, people don't like to give up and get out of their comfort zone. But we got to. We got to embrace the new generation. We got to embrace change. Evolution. The world is evolving. Without evolution, without things evolving, we wouldn't have this technology. We got to encourage these new kids that, hey, you know, you got the technology out here, use it. You know, hey, you can break records. You can break boundaries. You know what I'm saying? You can set the bar high. We got to start encouraging that, letting them know that, hey, you are better than me. You know, there's no jealousy over here. You know, it's all love. I want you to be better than me, and I want the generation under you to be better than y'all. We got to keep pushing for greatness, because again, I'm just slowly and somewhat seeing a divide, and I've always seen it coming from a youngin', but just this divide between old school and new school, and that's in all facets of life, whether it be music, sports, fashion, way of life, you know, parenting, old school parenting versus new school parenting. You know, it's in all those areas. So
yeah, man, you just, you know, change is change.
Change is change.
You're either gonna, you know, evolve with it, you know, at least try to understand it, or if not, then you're gonna get boxed in.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. It's about understanding. Just understanding when you was their age, where was your mindset at? When you were their age, and listening to and watching the certain things you was watching, and being influenced by the certain things you were being influenced by. You know, where was your mindset at? So think about that the next time you want to throw stones. When you was once in that same glass house. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. When the music stops, old school versus new school.
We out.
And we out of here. Peace.